Next, let's turn and talk about data mapping. This flows as the next step to do after or concurrent with doing the custodian interviews. So the data mapping is an organized map of data sources for legal purposes to be able to identify how many legal stores do the custodians have. They will almost always have multiple, sometimes many different data stores. What type and how much data is in these data stores, and has that been preserved? And this will come out in a series of different reports. And this is used as the basis for the rest of discovery to determine what there is to discover and how to preserve and collect it. This should be done, of course, for one's own side of the case and the custodians under one's control. But it can and perhaps many times should be done as best as possible for opposition. Getting a data map, even if it's tentative and there's a lot of holes in it, helps of the opposition helps on understanding where their data is and what you should be asking and who's doing what, and have preservation and collection obligations been met. It's very ad hoc to do it without some systemized way of building up what data they have. This can be attempted to be gotten once one's in depositions, of course, but if you wait till that long and proper preservation wasn't done, then you might have a complaint for that might be listened to, but the data might be lost if it wasn't preserved and collected properly. So that could end up hurting the case if not enough comes out of the sanctions. I want to talk first about what data mapping is not. If you go to a client and ask for a data map, or you try to build this up and you talk to IT people, they'll think in terms of a network map, which will be just a connection of all the computers, is often done with the tools that are built into the network analyzers, or it could be done ad hoc in Visio or PowerPoint or a number of different tools. So you'll see something like this, and it can take a while to get some of this. So these are kept up to date, not very often, so they may have to go back and develop it. So you can lose a lot of time trying to get this out of the client and end up with something that looks like this, but that is practically useless for purposes of having a legal data map that I'm talking about in this webinar. Benefits of data mapping, number of ones other than what we've talked about before. Risk of missing data sources that you could have gotten to with proper interviewing and data mapping. Certainly budgeting for understanding how much the discovery costs are very much related to the amount of the number of people and the amount of data being collected, number of data sources, and will scale pretty linearly with that. So understanding how much data there is, how many people, how many stores goes a long way on allowing you to budget out your e-discovery and not have unhappy surprises about it, and also helping you with your timing of collection, of being able to collect as needed at various commitments that you've made to as part of the case.